What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Fool of a Took. We're here once again tackling the Two Towers. We have chapter 5, which is an amazing chapter, The White Rider.
Yeah.
Bit racist, huh? Dig
No,
in. Go ahead.
no.
No? Okay.
We're talking clothing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
And horses.
This was a crazy chapter. I did not understand what was happening until it happened. When it happened, I was like, oh, but then until it happened, yeah. And if you are not reading, and this is your only way of discovering it, I'm not going to spoil it, but I am going to say, whew, what a chapter this
It's great.
was.
Tolkien had me in the first half. He did.
Dude, I was on eggshells, man. I was like, what's going to happen?
I love this for them.
I know, it's so exciting. It was so fun to watch Chris as we're reading this chapter together.
I have a million questions. So we're going to get to all 1 million of them.
I can't wait.
Superb. This will be an 8-hour podcast.
Yeah.
No, honestly,
Buckle up.
Last episode, Merry and Pippin escape into the Fangorn forest and meet Treebeard. They learn about the Ents, a race of sentient trees that were created by the elves long ago. Treebeard takes them to his home, and after hearing their story, he realizes that Saruman is starting a war and must be stopped. Treebeard gathers all the Ents in Fangorn to decide on a course of action. They all agree to fight Saruman in Isengard, and they set off with Merry and Pippin.
I forgot that happened.
Wow. It's a little important.
Well, the thing is, the Two Towers book is a fractured book.
Yeah.
We're jumping between this person and that group and this group. And every time I'm like, oh, man, I'm right in the heart of it. And the next chapter goes, oh, we're going to talk about somebody else completely.
Remember me?
Yep.
Yeah. And I'm like, oh, my God. Like, we had this happen when we watched Star Wars. And we were getting ready to go see Rogue One.
yeah.
This is so
And
embarrassing.
we watched The Force Awakens. She had not seen it, and I saw it, and I said, you should watch it. We're going to see Rogue One. We'll watch The Force Awakens the night before. We'll go right into it. It'll be great. Yes, that's how I feel watching, or that's how I feel reading The Two Towers, because we showed up, and the fucking cast was different. The plot was different. The villains were different, and I was like, what's going on?
Wait, my
This
favorite
is
thing
crazy.
is the movie's almost over, and he was like, okay, they have to be coming in at some point.
They never went. It's almost over. They gotta come out soon. Any minute now, we're gonna walk in and they're gonna be all like locked up in a room or something, you know.
That was so funny.
And it turns out it was 100 years before or something like that. I don't know,
Yes.
whatever it was.
Was immediate,
years.
like in the moments of the opening of A New Hope when the Star Destroyer comes in.
Yeah,
It is like everything that happens immediately before that moment.
yeah.
Yeah.
We are also 5 chapters in. No idea what Frodo's doing.
Yeah. I'm surprised we haven't seen them yet.
That's crazy. That's crazy. We've done 5 chapters. We're halfway through book 3. No Frodo.
He ghosted them. What do you want? He's done.
True.
Yeah.
He
I
checked
told
out.
you this would happen.
He's done.
Did you?
I called Junior and I said, yo, get rid of Frodo.
It's not working. He's a
It ain't
downer.
working. He's a dick. Get him out. Too much Frodo.
Should have given the ring to Boromir.
Oh, yeah.
been a
Werner
shorter book.
should have done it. All right.
To be fair, Boromir tried.
That's very true.
But he bore a mist.
Oh. Swinging a Chris.
I love that saying.
Yeah, we don't have Frodo. We don't have Sam. Hell, we don't even have Merry and Pippin. We got nothing.
We got no bits.
No bits.
Oh,
No bits, no bobs. But what we do have is a nice cold morning because where we left Legolas, Gimli, and Aragorn was that they had just been visited by an apparition, by like an old man, Saruman, and he just like fucked off. They don't really know what happened. They're sitting around a fire. There's a bunch of bodies on the battlefield. They had come up to the riders of Rohan looking for their friends, and instead they found a bunch of corpses. And the riders were like, peace, good luck. Hope you find the right bones. But now the sun is coming up, and they have spent a long night staring at the dark, waiting for a ghost, an old man, Saruman, something to come back out of the night at them. But dawn comes, and there's no horses, and there's no old men ghosts, and there's no footprints of fucking anything to suggest that there was even a man that visited them. Gimli, super not having it, real unhappy about the whole situation. And Aragorn just kind of like, okay, it's morning, back to it. And they start scouring for hobbit tracks, looking for anything they can find. What they find is leftovers of a meal, which is exactly what you find if you're hunting for hobbits. Because they find this like malloran leaf and a bunch of crumbs of lembas, and they're all looking at it and going like, what the fuck, what? And there's a knife and some rope. And Gimli, what the fuck is this? And Legolas is like, I know what the fuck this is. This is somebody managed to outrun all of the horsemen and all of the orcs, came out here, cut themselves free in the middle of the fucking open, sat down for a congratulatory meal, and then flew away like a bird, because that makes fucking sense. None of this, Matt, what is happening?
Legolas, dude.
His brain broke in that moment.
Yeah. he looked at that and he was like, yeah, I don't fucking know. The only thing that makes this make any sense to him is that they're hunting hobbits, and only hobbits would stop in the middle of a battle at night for a little snack.
That's so true.
I relate to that so much. Like, I'm like, man, what a terrible, stressful day at work. Cookies.
Right? I brought granola bars out when we were playing paintball.
You like lay down under a log and just
Through the mask. Yep.
So that's Legolas's take on things. Aragorn has a slightly more nuanced approach, because he finds orc tracks and blood and drag marks, and he manages to piece together that they were carried, one or possibly more hobbits was carried to this point by an orc that was then murdered, and of course they hung out, and then somehow or other they got themselves free, and then they fucked off. But also Aragorn manages to put together that like there was a fight, there was some internal like strife going on with the orcs, there was straight treachery, because suddenly everything that's happened to them since Frodo left, since they were attacked at the river, starts making sense to him, because now he can kind of piece it all together. Because the one thing that's been kind of hanging as a question for everybody has been like, if they stop and think about it, why did 200 or 300 orcs not simply descend on their little camp and kill everyone? Why did they snatch up 2 hobbits and just go? Well, because that was their only job. Their job was to find hobbits. But the enemy isn't going to tell orcs, you got to find a ring. They're not going to disclose that to these like untrustworthy little slime monsters. And Aragorn looks around and he reads a bunch of tracks on the ground, and then he comes up with that whole thesis, and he says, well, Legolas, Gimli, what do you guys think? And they go, yeah, cool. What now?
We'll go with that.
Yeah. Cool story. What now? What now is they're going to continue searching for tracks, and they pick up the hobbit's trail and they follow it up to the forest. They're standing at the eaves of the forest, and they realize they're going to have to go in. And Gimli is not jazzed. He is like, this place is awful. We were warned against going in here. And even Legolas, who is like medium jazzed about the prospect of going into this forest, is like, this place is so old, it makes me feel young. This place is, can you not feel the tension? Can you not feel the energy in the air, the anger that's waiting to, like, this is an angry forest, an old, angry forest. Not evil, but angry. So they track the hobbits into the forest, and they go up to that hill where Merry and Pippin found Treebeard. And they stand on top of this rock, and they're looking around, and Legolas says, oh, fuck, do you see that? And they're going, no, we don't have elf eyes. What do you see? He said, there in the trees. Yes, in the trees, Legolas. But what do you see in the trees? It's an old man in gray following us. Gimli's immediately like, kill. Do it. Take the shot. Fix this now.
Shoot now.
It's Saruman. He's coming for us. I don't want it. I don't want this. And he pulls out his axe and he's like, he's ready. He's ready.
God.
And Legolas and Aragorn are like, I kind of looks like an old shambly beggar man. I feel bad about shooting old people in the wilderness. It's just not really my vibe. But they won't do it. And by they, I mean Legolas. And Aragorn is also like not on the murder boat. And this old man comes up to the foot of the hill. And so, it's, hello, how you doing up there? And he like springs up like a goat and gets to the top of the hill with these guys. everybody's having real hard second thoughts about their shoot on sight policy. Because now this old man is with them and they've seen he's wearing white underneath of this gray robe. They can't make out his face. They don't know who this is. But remember, they were also just spooked by an old wizardly man in the night who then like scared off their horses, presumably.
And who else wears white?
Right. Saruman the White, right? Saruman the enemy, Saruman the traitor. It's bad. It's real bad. Nobody feels good.
We also know from the prior chapter, Saruman used to walk the woods and talk to the Ents.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's his backyard as much as it is anyone else's, except for maybe Treebeard's.
Yeah.
And here he is on top of this hill with them. And Aragorn's like, oh, hey, hi, how are you? How's it going? And the guy looks at them and is like, wow, this is odd company for the middle of Fangorn. An elf and a man and a dwarf. And the hobbits you're looking for are fine. They've been found. Your search is over. You want to talk about it? And at that point, all three of them are ready for kill time. Like, Aragorn's sword comes out, Legolas puts an arrow on his bow, and Gimli's axe is already in his hands.
He's been ready.
And he's like...
I love this moment.
and meanwhile, Gimli is still one step ahead on the violence train, and he leaps at the wizard. He leaps at the old man. And the guy stands up, casts off his cloak. Gimli's axe flies out of his hand. Legolas, and like shoots an arrow straight up in the sky. Aragorn's sword bursts into flame. And in this moment, the old man reveals himself, and he's dressed in gleaming white, and he's got a staff in his hand, and he is emanating light and power. And Legolas yells, Mithrandir. And they look, and my God, it's Gandalf.
Yeah.
It's not Saruman. It's Gandalf. Wait, it's Gandalf? What the fuck is this? What? And Gandalf looks at him and goes, Gandalf. Yeah, I remember that name. That was me. It's me. I'm Gandalf. Yes. Hi. How you doing? And I'm sorry, what? You're alive? You're dressed in white. What is going on? What happened? And Gandalf's kind of like, stuff. What have you guys been up to?
I hate when people do that too, by the way, in real life.
Right? And they're like, what? And he's like, yeah, I mean, the ring has passed beyond my help. The ring has passed beyond my power. I strove with the Dark Lord when the ring was almost revealed to him. And then we're led to realize that the voice that Frodo heard, the take it off you idiot voice, that was actually Gandalf. And then again says like, so what did you guys do? And Aragorn tells the whole story of everything that's happened since Gandalf fell in Moria. One of the biggest reactions he has is that he laments the fate of Boromir. And he says it's a shame, but he didn't survive, but he wasn't corrupted. He did not fail that test in the final moments. And that's got to be worth something. And to kind of further go along that, he also mentions like, yeah, well, I guess maybe Merry and Pippin, their whole purpose here is to be the little pebbles that start the avalanche. And he kind of explains to us as readers the stakes and situations of the war at large. What's going on with Sauron, what's going on with Isengard, what's going on with Saruman, what's going on with the world a little bit. So very briefly at the top of it, Sauron and Saruman still don't know where the ring is. They don't know what's going on. That is the only hope of the West. It's the only hope of the free people. Because now they have hope. But hope is not victory. Because Gandalf has returned to them at the turning of the tide, is what he says. He was sent back to finish his task. And this is the turning of the tide. Up until this point, evil has had all the momentum. Evil's been making all of the important decisions. They sent the riders to the Shire. They've chased them all the way to Rivendell. Minas Tirith is being eaten alive in its war. Rohan is under attack. Everything is in motion. And what everything is Sauron's war machine. But now Gandalf comes back and says, this is the turning of the tide. What Gandalf is referring to is the fact that he's seen Sauron's mind. He knows that Sauron knows who the Fellowship are. He knows every one of them. but he doesn't know quite where they are right now. And he has no idea what their true purpose is. Because if Sauron was the Fellowship, Sauron would take the most powerful weapon in the world directly to Minas Tirith, and he would raise an army, and he would wage war on his enemies. And that's the only context he has for how to use the ring. Because to Sauron, you would use the ring. That's the whole point. That's why he made it. It is meant to be corrupting. It is innately corrupting. It draws everyone to it. So from the Council of the Wise and all the elves and everybody going like, we can't touch that thing. We cannot fucking touch it. They meant literally, we cannot touch it. We cannot use it. We cannot dream of using it. The temptation is astounding. That's what Sauron's afraid of. He's afraid of being replaced. He's afraid that someone is going to use his most powerful weapon against him. So he goes all in on war. He's not done his preparations. He just pulls the trigger on every front all at once. He's going full court press. He is attacking Minas Tirith. He's attacking in the north. He's attacking everywhere. Now. Not when he's got everything in place. Whatever he's got is good enough. He's going. Because he wants to break the back of Gondor before a rival warlord can come out of there with his ring.
Right.
The fact that they're trying to destroy it never crossed his mind. He has no idea. And the facts bear this out because he's left Mordor more or less empty. He's put everything into the offense. He's going for the knockout blow. He's not holding anything back. That's their only hope. Because if Sauron had decided to make Mordor impenetrable, he could have very easily. And there'd be no hope of destroying the ring. And it would just be the same long war that Sauron's been more or less winning for 2,500 years. He would just continue to strangle the life out of the world until eventually he wins. But that's not how Sauron thinks. That's not what he's afraid of. Which leads us into his opinions of Saruman. Because of the thoroughness with which the Rittermark and the Riders of Rohan address their work, which is murdering orcs, which is no one survived. No messages got out. No one's going to know what happened there except for Éomer and the boys. All Saruman knows is that some hobbits were scooped up. Neither of them know what happened after that. Everything's dead. So in Sauron's mind, he has to assume that Saruman has the ring now, or might have the ring. He has to work on that assumption. And that's what Saruman wants, right? Saruman wants to become a great power. He wants the ring. And as a matter of fact, having the ring is the only way Saruman could actually fight and win a war against Sauron. Gandalf's also seen Saruman's mind a little bit, and he sees that Saruman's forgotten a lot. That man is confused. Fuck him. Because Saruman knew, again, that his orcs had picked up some hobbits. He was able to perceive that. So he left Isengard. He ran his dumb ass through Fangorn Forest, but because he doesn't really, again, Treebeard taught him the forest ways, like the paths through the woods. So Saruman used those to book it all the way out this way to intercept his minions in the field, take personal possession of the hobbits and presumably the ring, and then do whatever, step 2 is. Because step 3 is rule the world.
Profit.
But he was too late. He showed up after Éomer and the riders had eliminated the orcs. He showed up the other night at Legolas, Aragorn, and Gimli's campfire.
And it was Saruman,
That was Saruman
looking at them.
Yes.
Huh.
Right?
Yikes.
A couple of what?
Dude, the gravity of that is astronomical.
Right?
Yeah.
Right? And because Saruman knew so little of what was going on, he didn't even know,
He doesn't know who they are.
maybe. You know what I mean? He doesn't have any information. He has fucking nothing to go off of, let alone who might be carrying the ring right now.
It's got to be a hobbit.
Might be a hobbit. What if it's the elf, the dwarf, or Aragorn? Do you go toe-to-toe with
Because I'm
that?
sure to him, he's like, oh, those are just like people.
Maybe.
Does he know who Aragorn is?
It's a little less clear if Saruman has a wall of ID photos like Sauron does.
Yeah.
But at the same time, he's operating under this idea that there's this impossibly dangerous weapon somewhere in his immediate vicinity, and he's no longer sure who personally is carrying it or what they're capable of. But that's where Saruman is, because Saruman is fucked up again. He's forgotten. He's forgotten the Ents. Treebeard. I'm sorry, who's Treebeard? What? And Legolas is like, you're just... Treebeard is just the word Fangorn rendered in the common tongue, but you're acting like that's a person, and that's crazy. And Gandalf's like, no, I'm talking about Ents, like the tree shepherds. And Legolas is like, oh, fuck me, he's talking about the Ents. Every wood elf knows that long, sad story because they sing songs about the Entwives. They all know. Ents are ancient even to elves. And he said the next thing that's going to happen has not happened since the Elder Days, since before the sundering of the world, since before the fall of Durin, before the fall of Moria. In the truly ancient times was the last time the Ents got stirred up enough and realized their own strength and fucked somebody up. And they're going to go do it right now.
Back when Tom Bombadil was Thomas Bombadil.
Maybe. Maybe.
They also say that
the new kid
Treebeard
on the
was
block.
the oldest living creature ever.
He's the oldest living thing in Middle Earth.
Yeah.
Because if you think about it, if an elf or some immortal being like sang to them and taught them how to speak and wanted to listen to them, like they were there actually maybe before even the elves came to this side of the world.
Right. Like, so it's a whole question of like, what is the actual mythology there? Because this is an
I
interesting
thought
thing.
Tom Bombadil was eldest.
Right.
Maybe Tom Bombadil thinks he's eldest.
Oh,
I don't know.
Shit.
Right?
Eldest off.
Shit.
Oh my God.
First pancake.
First pancake.
But before they were sentient, like they could have also still just been there.
Right.
True.
Actually, fuck, that's a really good point.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, yeah, I guess you can be if you're a tree, you can be the oldest living thing in Middle Earth without having been awake the whole time.
True.
They were there.
True.
I mean,
Yeah.
I think I'm the oldest person in the room, and I haven't been awake the whole time. I sleep every night. Yeah, it was funnier in my head. So anyway,
Cut that.
but Gandalf delivers these revelations because this is what hope means in a material sense to these guys. The ring has passed beyond their help, but also beyond all temptation. That's off the table. The ring is now on its final trajectory. For good or for ill, it's on its way. What we need to do over here is do our part and fight the war. We're going to Edoras. We're going to the Hall of Theoden, the king of Rohan. And they're like, yeah. Yes, you, elf in the back. Gandalf, what the fuck happened? You died. You have not addressed that question directly. Gandalf's like, yeah, whatever. It's a long story, and like, we gotta go. No, please answer the question, sir.
You are not leaving without telling us.
Right. Really, it is, no, you really need to answer these. And Aragorn stands up to Gandalf and says,
Fuck you.
yeah, fuck off, old man. Answer the question. What did you do with the car keys? No. So Aragorn
How much
stands,
limoncello have you had?
but he stands up in front of Gandalf and says, really though, what happened? You are my compass. You are the leader. You are the banner, and I will follow wherever you direct because you're the boss. The enemy has the 9 black riders, but we have the white rider. You are Gandalf the White. And in this moment, Legolas and Gimli look up and they see Aragorn as this kingly figure, like a man stepped out of myth and legend onto the shores of lesser men to come save them, to rule them, to be their king. Like in this moment, Aragorn looks like what his destiny is. And Gandalf stands opposite him. And for all of the grandeur of Aragorn, Gandalf looks infinitely wiser and more powerful. And so Gandalf's like, fine. You're not going to drop it? Okay,
$49.99 pay-per-view. I'll take Venmo.
right. It's like, okay, we'll do this real quick, but then we actually got to go.
Yeah.
And Gandalf says that he fell from Durin's bridge. And there's no bottom, says Gimli. There's no bottom. Nobody's ever found the bottom. And Gandalf is like, actually, I found it. It is way the fuck down there. It is beyond light. It is beyond knowledge. And at the bottom of that is a black, icy lake. And we fell into it. And we fought the entire time. Claw and sword. Like, once the flames went out, the Balrog apparently became a creature of slime. Sounds worse. Somehow that sounds worse. And they fought until the Balrog fled Gandalf.
Which is crazy to think about.
Right.
What a monumental line that is in this chapter. This fucking huge beast is like, I'm done.
Yeah, I'm out. This ain't going the right way.
I gotta recharge my fucking health here.
Yeah. And they are at the utmost depths of the earth, the very bones of the earth. And there are tunnels. And who made these tunnels?
Yeah.
Nameless horrors beyond the comprehension of even Sauron made these tunnels.
So Cthulhu.
Cthulhu, yeah.
Okay.
And Gandalf just leaves it at that. But the Balrog apparently knows his way out because the Balrog books it. And Gandalf chases him because Gandalf looks around and goes, yeah, not only do I have no memory of this place, I will get lost here forever. And if he knows where he's going, that's where I need to go. And he chases the Balrog out of the depths of the earth to the endless stair. And Gimli's like, hold up, that's a myth. Nobody actually built the endless stair. The staircase that goes from the heart of the earth to the top of the mountain. Nobody made that. Gandalf's like, they did make it. I had to climb it. It was a lot of fucking steps. And then when we got to the top, we came out on the peak of a mountain.
And his Apple Watch said, you've completed 11 million steps today.
Right. His calves were like the size of tree trunks.
He had a thick leg.
Oh, damn, girl.
A thick leg.
Both of them are like stopped halfway up, just breathing.
It is real. I climbed it. Look at these legs.
Yup.
4 or 5 different.
Cut.
You see these calves? Made of steel.
Never skip leg day.
Yeah.
But they come at Durin's tower at the top of the mountains. And because it's Tolkien, the mountain has 3 different names. The dwarves call it Zaraxigil. In the common tongue, it's the Silvertine. To the elves, it's Celebdil. This is where Gandalf and the Balrog have their final fight. Because the Balrog shakes off his slime, bursts into flame, he is invigorated, and Gandalf goes right back to town, just hammering him with Glamdring. Just fucking sword blow, sword blow, sword blow. And there in the white light at the top of this mountain, in the ice and the snow, it was fire and storm and lightning. And I cast him down. I threw him from the mountain. He smote the side of the mountain. I broke him. And then darkness took me. And he remembers no more of that. And he laid there on this mountain, and his mind strayed beyond time and thought, which is like fucking wild.
We've all been there, though.
Well,
You just had a little TBI.
When you're getting your teeth worked on and you're staring into that light, you don't know if it's been 10 minutes or 3 hours.
Oh my God.
And he has been sent back to complete his task on Middle Earth. Well, it doesn't say exactly what it is, but, I guess we can all infer maybe. What do you think? And he lays there staring at the sun and the stars as time passes without meaning for him, as he hears rumor of all the world, all the living things, the dying things, the springing of life, the weeping of the world. He gathers news and rumor. And he lays there until an eagle finds him.
What's that little stick?
God, put that in my nest. Ew. But who finds him in this moment is Gwaihir, the Lord of the Eagles, the Wind Lord, the same eagle that rescued him from the top of Saruman's tower from Orthanc. And Gandalf's like, oh, it's you again. And he's like, yeah, it's you again, says the eagle. All right, whatever.
Get on.
Yep. No, he scoops him up in his talons. He's like, this is not, you do not get to ride this ride. I will scoop you with talons.
At this point, he's still naked.
Oh, he's naked as all get out.
Because Gandalf has lost his robe at this point.
Yeah.
Get in.
Yeah.
We're going shopping.
Yeah. Get in, bitch. We're going shopping. And, well, it's funny because they kind of do because Gandalf's first thought is, take me to Lorien. And Gwaihir's like, wow, I'm glad that's where you want to go because that's where I'm taking you. Because Galadriel specifically said, if you find Gandalf lying naked on a mountaintop, bring him to Lothlorien. So Gwaihir takes him to Lothlorien where Gandalf stays. And he heals and he takes counsel and gives counsel. He says, by the way, Aragorn, Galadriel has a message for you. And because, it's Middle-earth and it's Tolkien, these are poems, riddles, if you will. To Aragorn, he says, the dead are waiting for you. To Legolas, he says, if you ever hear a seagull, your heart will no longer dwell in the forest.
You done.
You done. And they're kind of like, oh, fuck, that's grim. What the fuck is this? Gimli's like, what about Gimli? No message for me? No message for Gimli? No message at all?
For my
and Legolas
girlfriend?
is like, you want like a weird death poem, man? This is not good news. And he's like, if that's all she had to say to me, I would still take that message. I still want to know what she would say, even if it's that bad. And Gandalf's like, oh, well, good for you. Because it's actually kind of nice. And it's basically Galadriel says to Gimli through this message, my thoughts go where you go. Be careful about where you swing your axe. Make sure you swing it at the right tree, basically. And Gimli's like immediately back on the murder train. He is like, fuck yeah, let's go. I'm going to kill the right wizard. And Gandalf looks at him and is like, good, that's the energy we want to bring to this situation. Because here comes Shadowfax and another horse. Well, Shadowfax and a couple horses. We're out. We're leaving. We're going right now. Gimli, you're going to ride up front with me. Legolas and Aragorn, take your horses. By the way, your horses didn't run away so much as they got found. It's a long story, dumb story, but we're going to Edoras. We're going to the Hall of Theoden. That's where we're needed. And they take off and they ride. And the horses just go like endlessly cross country. And they come up to this point where they look west. And Gandalf pulls up and he says, that is the Gap of Rohan. Beyond that is Isengard. And Legolas looks over and he's like, it's a lot of fucking smoke. What's that all about? And Gandalf turns and he says, that is battle and war. But we keep moving. Keep going. To Edoras. And the chapter ends.
This is like a chapter that is full of iconic lines for a book that as I'm reading it, I'm going, oh, this is slam dunking. Like legitimately, and we'll dive into a lot of these, but like when they're talking about, when he's like talking about, I am Gandalf the White. It's like Tolkien's got a really good sense of branding with this.
It's crazy.
Of the sort of like this phoenix that rises from the ashes and becomes a whole new kind of Gandalf. And it's like the Gandalf you think you knew, gone. This is Warhorse Gandalf. Not like sweet old like Gandalf with like I don't just it's a totally different feel.
He talks to himself kind of absentmindedly a little bit. Like he's still rejoining reality.
Yeah.
Because he even says he's like, I am Gandalf the White. I am as Saruman should have been.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was curious about that line. Like, what did he mean by that?
Meaning he is more pure. Like it's like an aggressive tone out of Gandalf. And he's like, he's who he should have been. You're like, whoa, shit, dude. Like
Well, I mean, Gandalf gets to have a little perspective change because he did not have a near-death experience. He had a death experience.
yeah.
It's like a cat with 9 lives.
Yeah.
Just changes color every time.
He basically fought a grizzly bear naked for like 3 months straight. Like that's crazy.
And won.
Yeah, one of the first things that really hit me, there was a line that Gimli said when they were just entering Fangorn Forest. And he was saying, oh, I don't really want to go in there. We've heard so much about it. It's a dangerous place. And he's kind of chatting with Legolas. And Legolas says, well, there's no malice near us, but there's watchfulness and anger. And Gimli says, well, it has no cause to be angry with me. I've done it no harm. I was like, oh, that's interesting. And then Legolas continues to say, but nonetheless, it has suffered harm. And that kind of took me out of the story and made me think of, soldiers fighting one another in a wartime situation where, okay, neither of them has done anything to one another, but they're still part of this broader conflict.
Yeah.
Like the sins of the ancestors, being paid later.
And maybe the sins were just them like making a fire out of wood.
Could be.
Right?
Could be,
Like
but I think it
something
might
so
be more
simple.
than that.
Oh, I'm sure it is. But in that moment, Gimli's like directly calling out like, hey, last night you said don't fucking go get firewood from these woods.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't, and we sat in the cold and I hated it. So yeah, I didn't do shit. Don't fucking get mad at me.
He's yelling at the trees. It wasn't me.
I didn't do nothing. I didn't cut nothing down. And I think that was really interesting because Gimli is legitimately like making a case to the trees why he should be spared for a non-existent like retaliation.
Mm-hmm. Well,
Because
he
Legolas is like,
personally didn't
oh,
do
they're
anything.
angry. And he's like, oh, I didn't do anything.
Well, can you imagine like old man Willow, like, yeah, this is a great argument. This is just great. And then just like slowly squeezing you and like pushing you underwater. It's
What
like,
would Gimli say if he met old man Willow?
Gimli would have set himself on
He
fire.
would have said, and then just been swallowed alive.
He would have had one arm free with the axe to just to get himself out.
he just won right in the head.
Oh, not his own head.
Oh, his own head. Jesus Christ.
Gimli goes out on his own terms.
I thought that there was a moment where Aragorn really gets to demonstrate to the reader how good of a ranger he is.
I know.
Yeah.
When he like kind of like fortune tellers it and sits down, he's like, okay, here's what happens. And explains kind of exactly what happened.
Yeah.
Aragorn nails it. Legolas does not.
Yeah, Legolas is like, I guess they were carried off by birds or eagles or something. He was like,
What
"Are
a
you
fucking
dumb,
riddle."
dude?"
Eagles don't carry anyone.
Yeah. Although I thought, okay, so just to be clear, prior to Merry and Pippin meeting Treebeard, before that moment, nobody has interacted with an Ent in like a millennia. Is that true?
Besides Saruman.
Besides Saruman. Because everybody is like, those aren't real.
Treebeard knew Gandalf's name,
Yeah.
right?
He also knew
So
Gandalf.
he'd been
Yeah.
speaking with him.
So, but Ents are a mythical creature to just about everybody. And when I say mythical, I mean like a creature of myth and legend. Like
Not a mythothil, a mythical.
not a mythothil, a myth.
And I feel like Legolas being from Mirkwood, he also knows of the legends. They still sing the songs. So he wouldn't have been as shocked they're still around. They just haven't really seen them.
It just was
'Cause he
so
even says
interesting that like Aragorn was like, I know everything that's going on here, and he's showing his ranger skills, and he's like, this is what happened. And then he's like, but there's this really odd tree-shaped footprint. And that was like, what? That took me out for a second. Like,
Too many
what?
toes.
You kind of like know everything. What are you talking about? You're in Fangorn Forest where the Ents live. And you're saying there's a tree-shaped footprint. Who could it be? You know what I mean? I was like a little, in that moment, I was like, ah.
Did they know that Fangorn Forest is where the Ents lived?
I think they only live there. There's no other place they live.
It's kind of in the current state of Middle Earth, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but like it's Fangorn is Ents because Fangorn is literally Treebeard.
It means, yeah, like this is where Treebeard, the shepherd of the Ents, lives, and all the Ents are like the sheep of the shepherd around Treebeard. Unless I'm thinking it wrong.
because
I feel like they had mentioned in the previous chapter that like previously they were in all the other forests too.
And also it was all connected and it was much
Yeah.
larger.
Yeah.
So
So that kinda
society
made
has
me
made
think-
it smaller, just like we do to
Kind of
nature.
like the Native
Right.
Americans.
But that made
Oh
me
my
think
God. I
that
was
they
just
might
like
still be
deer.
spread out.
Deer.
Deer packs used to be like more spread out, and
100% like Native Americans more than deer.
well, I wasn't going to go there. But there are a lot of Ents. They're just sleeping.
But yeah, really, they make the point of saying that they lived in Fangorn, and Fangorn was the easternmost point of a forest that went all the way back to the old forest, and even that was only the eastern end of a greater forest.
Yeah.
And if you're looking at that map and you're thinking, man, the world's not really that big,
Used to be bigger.
used to be about twice that size. Everything west of the Gulf of Loon and all that shit, bottom of the sea. Fuck them.
Yeah.
That dragon.
Yup.
So I want to talk about Gandalf. Obviously, Gandalf is this star of this chapter for many reasons. I think the way that Gandalf speaks to everybody is kind of the most outlandish part of this new Gandalf that we meet. Did I read it correctly that Gandalf the White entered the world naked? Does that mean that Gandalf the Gray died on the mountain with the Balrog? That's how I read it.
Gandalf's death is not a metaphor. Gandalf's death is a fact.
Gandalf the Gray.
Yes.
Gandalf the Grey died. He fought the Balrog. He won. He laid down. Time and space passed by.
That was his death.
Yeah, the way
He's out.
the way it's said is the darkness took him after he battled and won the against the Balrog. So it's not very specific, but you can imagine he fades to black. He's in a place he can't really understand, and he says he will not say.
Yeah, so I think his body died, but his spirit as a wizard probably is much greater than the spirit of a regular living being.
You're close
Yes.
on that one.
And so the spirit maybe is an undying kind of spirit. And so that spirit was going to the next realm, and whoever controls that realm went, no, you're not done. And popped Gandalf the White, naked as the baby he was never to be.
Right. Do you think why here like swings down to the top of the mountain and is like, ooh, there's two corpses. Which one do I grab?
Oh, that's interesting.
Ooh.
Or do you think Gandalf the White appeared at the top of the mountain? Or do you think he appeared somewhere else?
I didn't think that
He
his
was
body
at the
was
mountain.
left behind.
Yeah.
I kind of thought that like his consciousness came back down into the body and it was just renewed.
I think Gandalf the Grey's body disintegrated as he died, and the robe was left behind.
Oh.
But
tattered
then
gray
Gandalf
robe.
the White, naked as he was, picked it up, put it on. Then he found a white robe, put
From
that
Galadriel.
on, and
got
put the gray on top.
Got it from Lorien.
Yeah, the white robe came from Lorien. I think he was naked when he was transported to
Yeah,
So
Lorien.
he
Right.
showed up naked.
Yeah.
Right? Is that not how? Isn't it kind of awkward to
So
like?
why did he get the
Hey, Galadriel!
I would hope after so many thousands of years or so past that point. Well, I have to say, like, as soon as he comes back and he's naked, I think that's one of the most beautiful pieces of writing that Tolkien did in this chapter. And there's a lot of great writing in this chapter, but when he's explaining how it was for him to come back into his body and be lost and forgotten and confused, and he was just staring into time and had no idea how much time was passing. And then I love this part. It says, "Faint to my ears came the gathered rumor of all lands, the springing and the dying, the song and the weeping, and the slow, everlasting groan of overburdened stone." Like, just imagine all that knowledge and memory just like coming and seeping back into you after being dead, and remembering how nature and time and everything that's happening, and hearing like beings being born and dying.
Yeah, it reminds me of like,
That's
you know, when
crazy.
they say when you die, your life flashes before your eyes. It feels
Right.
like almost the opposite. Like he's watching all of life as he knew it kind of like
After he was born.
happen. Yeah.
Yeah. And no wonder he's so confused. Like, you know what I'm
Right?
He
saying?
was confused. He didn't even know his
after
name.
processing all of that and trying to re-remember life, I'd be a little out of it too.
Well, isn't it also kind of cool that you know, the weeping, the dying, the springing, the song, all that
Yeah.
stuff, the kind of the way Tolkien captures sort of the physical earth, the nature, like nature itself, as the groaning of overburdened stone. That tells you that like it's going to fall, it's going to crumble, that the world is dying. So like Tolkien keeps slipping in these super melancholy, like the world is changing and it's worse.
So he says, I was talking to myself. I tend to talk to the wisest person present. And I was like, you fucking asshole.
Snotty.
But doesn't he end like one of these like profound passages with, and then he stared into the sun?
Yeah.
Right? It's just like he's halfway checked out of these conversations.
He's had too many mushrooms.
He's in a different plane of existence than everyone else.
I don't think he's fully back to Earth, Middle
Yeah.
Earth yet.
What do you think it was like trying to talk to
He's
him
on
in
high
Lothlorien?
earth.
Oh my God. That's what they gave him counsel. Like, you got to get your shit together.
Buddy. First off, put all that away. Here's a bathrobe. Buddy.
Galadriel walked up and was like, Master Gandalf. And he was like, have you ever considered using a capital L in Galadriel? And she's like, what?
You have a
No, she tried to read his mind and she almost went crazy. She's like, we got to fix this.
You need to dry out, bud.
And then he was like, Celeborn was never born. And they kicked him out. Yeah. He got kicked out of Lothlorien.
Why are you hanging out with this buzzkill?
No, but I love that you brought up his dialogue because it did change now that he's the white.
Yes.
It's not as sing-songy, and I feel like he was such a grumpy old man when he was the gray. And he has not gotten his pipe out. He's left that all behind.
Ooh.
You know what I'm saying? He was constantly smoking his pipe or wanting to stop for a drink. And
This is sober Gandalf.
This is sober Gandalf.
Wow.
He's not as fun.
No, he's high as fuck.
That's actually true.
This is cannabis Gandalf.
Yeah. But even the way he like teases Gimli, when Gimli, he's like bringing up how Gimli thought he was Saruman and stuff. He says, evidently, he's talking about Saruman. He's like, evidently, we look so much alike that your desire to make an incurable dent in my hat must be excused. That's even so much more proper. Before he just was like, oh, and like yelled at him, like, fool of a dwarf. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, even how he insults people just leveled up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's super clever.
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
hey, Gandalf, remember when you told Pippin to kill himself?
That his head was a block of wood. You're going to use it to open the door.
Yep.
But like what was also funny was when they talk about like, oh, so that was you that we saw last night. And Gandalf's like, absolutely the fuck it wasn't.
He was like, I just got in this morning. What?
Yeah. It's like you saw a different old man in white last night? I cannot account for this.
Well, this is a really interesting part because I'm reading this, not knowing what's going on. This is like not from the films. The first half of this chapter, my anxiety is through the roof because one, we're coming off of, if I jump back a couple chapters, they see some fucking dude staring at them in the middle of the night, and Gimli is freaked out. And Gimli, the guy, doesn't really get freaked out. Everybody else tends to panic. Gimli hardly ever does. He's always like, it's just like,
Yeah.
let's fucking go. And he was freaked out. So then that means I'm freaked out.
And that
Yeah.
guy just disappeared. I mean,
Yeah. And then he was
justified.
Like no
disappeared
tracks,
away.
nothing.
Ooh, just was like stepped behind a tree and did the old like, Hollywood trick, and
Right.
he was gone. And so then we see this fucking old dude start walking towards them.
The
Gimli
hunters
wants to
being
kill him.
hunted.
Yeah. And it's like, oh my God, like this guy is Saruman. He's gonna kill him. He's gonna do something. He's gonna try to kill him. He's not gonna kill him. We know they don't
The book
die.
keeps going.
Legolas, don't get got.
Yeah.
You're an old man.
Yeah. And then all of a sudden you're like, oh, it's Gandalf. Gandalf is the one that's the old guy who's been watching them. And he's like, huh? Watching you? Nope, that wasn't me. And you're like, what? The fuck are you talking about?
Shit.
What do you mean? And then also it was like hit the rewind on the VHS player, and it like goes backwards, and I'm jumping back to that chapter, and I'm going, well, who the fuck was that? And then Gandalf just goes casually, Saruman. So Saruman's just staring at him in the dark like a psychopath. God damn. So I went from anxiety to chill back to anxiety. It was a reverse Abraham Lincoln hat.
And at first, that doesn't really make sense because you're thinking clearly Saruman knows who they are. He should have killed them if he knows that they're part of the Fellowship.
He would have killed them.
But then
doesn't know
Gandalf
that.
says that he's getting forgetful. His power and his greed is making him forget things that he used to care about. He's sort of like having a one-track
much processed food.
mind. Sorry. He
Lot of
sort of
salt.
has a like one-track mind like Smeagol
Yeah.
Gollum. And he's
He just needs the ring.
things.
He needs the ring.
And so in that moment, he's heading towards where he thinks his orc army is going to be to get the hobbits. He thinks he's about to get the ring. So he doesn't give a fuck about Aragorn, Legolas, and Gimli. And he could have just ended the good side of the war forever.
And that was my point earlier, which is that I think him looking at him, the first like 10 seconds, he was like, who are these people?
I love the way Tolkien writes characters because they're like they have real emotion and there's a ton of humor in this stuff because the up until the moment Gandalf gets revealed to us, to your point, this is all tension. We are meant as readers to know in our hearts that Saruman is hunting the three hunters, that they are about to get got, and only Gimli is just for murder. He's like, we will kill people and figure it out later. This is a big forest. No one will ever know.
He's the epitome.
It's a shoot first, think never.
Right.
Yeah, he's the epitome of ask forgiveness rather than permission.
Yep.
Right. But then after that, we get Gandalf back. And it's a tremendous feeling. But Tolkien takes pains to communicate to us as readers that this Gandalf is Gandalf the White. And that means something. It means, one, he's come into his power in a way. Like, he is the peer of Saruman. He's just been like quick promoted. But also that this is mentally, emotionally, perhaps not really the same being. Like, he remembers them. His emotional attachments as communicated by his lament that, Boromir died. But at least he didn't fall to the ring's corruption completely. So he knows them. He remembers them. He cares about them. There is something more to Gandalf now.
Yeah. It feels like he remembers remembering them.
Yeah.
Instead of he remembers them. Like
That was a different person.
It's like he remembers a memory.
Yeah.
Which is different than remembering what actually it is.
Because he's not the same.
Yeah.
He
It
has
was really
changed.
interesting. I mean, he even says such an iconic line when I'm reading it. And I think I've gotten pretty good at reading this book and knowing when I'm reading a line that, like, as a Tolkien fan, people who've read the books many times, they go, oh, that's that line.
meaningful.
Like, that line means something. And I wrote it down, which is, he says, I am Gandalf the White, but black is mightier still. And it's a really interesting thing of, like, you get this renewed hope in Gandalf in this moment that, okay, Gandalf's back. This is Gandalf 2.0. Stronger, better, faster, more RAM. You know?
More horsepower.
He's better. He's
One
got
horsepower.
He's got a CD burner. He's got neon lights. He's dope as fuck. Best Buy's 2025 best item to get.
2002.
Yeah, this is
PC of
new
the year.
and improved Gandalf. And so we have this moment where he's talking and Aragorn's like, oh, we're fine now.
Right.
We don't have this measly little old man. We got a little young buck who jumped up a fucking giant hill in 3.5 seconds to greet us. So we'll be just fine going forward. And Gandalf's like, hey. The shadow is mightier still. And it kind of like levels the playing field like, oh yeah.
But I
You're a
love that
little reminder.
Aragorn actually says that the Dark Lord has 9, but we have 1 mightier than they. The White Rider, though, is worth more than 9 of the Nazgul.
Absolutely.
Even if they fly.
Now,
Yeah.
nothing is mightier than Sauron at this point, even with Sauron just being a giant eyeball. That's what Gandalf's saying.
So can Sauron hear Gandalf?
No, it's an eyeball.
No. Also, I want to say he
Because-
got his cloak from Lorien. I think he's also hidden from the enemy now.
Ooh, I didn't think about that.
I would just assume.
But I was actually thinking about the fact that Sauron potentially was listening in through Moria through his people. And Gandalf said, fly, you fool. And he said, that's a great idea.
Oh my
And
God.
he put a Nazgul on the fucking thing that flies.
Like, it's just a memo, like in the idea box.
We all thought that fly, you fool, was for the Fellowship. Turns out Gandalf the Grey was working for Sauron.
No.
And he gave him the great idea to put the Nazgul rider
Yeah.
on a fucking winged dragon-y thingy.
The winged messenger.
Like, you're the Nazgul that opens up the suggestion box and sees, what if they fly? And you're like, fuck yeah, what if they fly?
Yeah.
Are you so sick
Some
of,
wings on a horse.
He's so sick of the eagles saving Gandalf. He's like, fine, we'll fucking fly too.
So speaking of Saruman and Sauron, one thing that's really starting to unravel in my head in this chapter is how they are different. Because I think I mentioned in the last episode, I kind of have been lumping them together. You know, they're both the bad guys. I got the impression that they were sort of on the same team, that Saruman was like aiding Sauron. And you guys were like, nah, it's different. It's different. And so I'm really starting to understand how Saruman is a traitor to Sauron this chapter. and like how he's sort of trying to claim power for himself. So that was an interesting little, clarification that this chapter provided.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's really important as the perspective of the reader to understand that evil is not monolithic.
Yeah.
And again, this all comes back to the
I don't know
idea
what that means, to be honest.
monolithic. Okay, so like the idea that evil is not all one thing. Like they're not all one team.
They're not on the same side.
Got it.
Yeah, it's like they're all bad, but they're not all pulling in the same direction. They're fighting each other as much as they're fighting us. And they would fight each other if they lived. I think it was Gimli that was like, it sucks for everyone that they're caught between these two evil assholes. Wouldn't it be better if they were just like trapped in a box together and fought and killed each other? Gandalf makes the point of saying like, yeah, but whoever wins that fight, in theory, comes out with the ring and comes out stronger, and then we're all done. We're all cooked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's better that they're fighting each other.
And they can't communicate, and they don't know what the other one is doing, and the distrust and the betrayal is very real. Because think about how fast the orcs fell apart in the field, how fast they were to kill each other, how fast their mission.
And they were powerless orcs.
Right. But that means that fractured nature of their forces starts at the ground and goes all the way to the top.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
the hope. That's
Yeah.
the hope that the West has.
So because Saruman was so obsessed with getting the ring and following the hobbits, Merry and Pippin, he actually missed the opportunity to get Frodo when Frodo was right under his nose as well. So Frodo gets away, and that was his one chance.
When they were all together on
And they
the
were
river.
all together. And not only that, when he sees Aragorn, Legolas, and Gimli, he also should have killed them because they're going to take down a lot of evil people. And he's just so consumed with getting to the hobbits that he thinks has the ring. He lets
He
them
doesn't
go
know
away.
who they are.
Debatable.
In general, anyone that's not on his side is against him. And he's like kind of so consumed with just the ring, he's letting people slip. Versus old school Saruman would not have done that probably when he was on the good side or even when he was starting to turn.
So he's in survival mode. He's panicked.
Yes.
He's having an anxiety attack, and he's just making mistakes right and left.
But everyone is panicked, and that's the point.
Yeah.
Sauron is panicked. He's pulled the trigger on this this frontal assault on Minas Tirith because he's terrified that if the ring gets to Minas Tirith ahead of that they'll raise an army and that some crazy warlord, anyone, could be Gandalf, could be an elf, could even be a human being, bring that ring to Sauron's front door and kill him with. Everything is happening all of a sudden.
And now anyone could have the ring.
And not only that, he's not aligned with anyone anymore. He's turned on Sauron. He's turned on everyone, like the Council of Elrond and everyone. So like he has no turning back. He's gone too far. If he doesn't win, he's done on every side.
Win or die.
Yeah.
I thought it was really funny that Legolas was having a really hard time with riddles this chapter. Did anybody else notice that? In the beginning, he like sees all these clues and he's like, I don't know, they must have fucking flown away. Like he didn't even try.
Right.
But also when he got his poem from Lothlorien, Legolas Greenleaf, long under tree, in joy thou hast lived, beware of the sea. If thou hearest the cry of the gull on the shore, thy heart shall then rest in the forest no more.
Yeah.
And Legolas says, dark are her words, and little do they mean to those that receive them.
He's like, if only we knew what
Really?
it meant.
God, that's so hard
And
to
everyone's
decipher.
everyone's like, I mean, it's kind of clear, buddy.
Pretty obvious, man.
But what I love about that is in the very beginning of the chapter, when he couldn't figure something out, he says, few can foresee whither the road will lead them till they come to its end. Like even in the beginning, he's like, yeah, I'm not going to figure this out till I'm dead.
Is he just saying like it's not worth trying to guess?
I think he's just saying like maybe he doesn't want to. He just wants to go through life. Ignorance is bliss.
Blissfully unaware.
I just don't want to know where I'm
That's
going.
on brand.
Yeah.
That's on brand for him.
Yeah.
The final thing I really want to bring up here is just that Gandalf has this really great moment that probably was written with sincere intent, but he came across as comical. And Gandalf kind of like turns to the fellowship. He's like, we must go to Edoras, but I shan't walk. I'm not walking. So I'm going to take a horse. And also, my horse is dope as fuck. Have you met my horse? Shadowfax. And Shadowfax walks up, and it's great. And in that moment, I was like, oh, I really related to how Gandalf felt, because there's been several times where there's definitely a walkable distance, but you make the decision, no, I'm not walking.
I'm in my
I was-
horse riding era.
Yeah, I'm in my era of horse riding,
I'm a horse girl now.
and I was curious if any of you guys. Oh my god!
Gimli, I'm sorry, Gandalf as a horse girl.
You just keep wanting to bring him back to horse girl. Well, this is the second time you brought up horse girl. What do you got to think about horses?
Guys, Laura is a horse girl. I won't even say
Yeah.
reformed horse girl.
No.
You currently own a horse.
Yeah, Gandalf the Grey was an eagle man, and now he's a horse girl.
Gandalf the Grey was evil?
Eagle man.
Oh, eagle.
An eagle man.
Fly, eagles, fly.
eagle.
Did you say Eggle?
Eagles. Go
my
eagles.
God.
Go bird.
Say bagel.
Bird.
Bagel.
Okay, we're okay. I thought we had to stop this podcast.
Oh my God.
You were gonna say bagel or whatever the fuck.
Bagel.
Bagel.
They say bagel.
Who says bagel?
I don't know. Some
I say bagel.
people I
Is that
grew up
some
with.
Delaware County shit?
No.
They say
People I grew up with said that.
Begel.
Yeah, BEGEL.
Like a
bagel.
bagel?
It's a bagel.
It's a bagel, but there's Begel, which is how some people pronounce it, which is bagel.
Right.
Bagel.
But to be fair, the reason we make good bagels is because we got good water.
I love that. Anyway, I just kind of related to Gandalf here. He's like, I shall not walk. And there's been many times in my life where I'm just fucking done with walking, man. I'm just done. Don't
I
ask
get
me
it.
to walk anymore, okay? I don't want to do it.
I mean, that's fair, especially like on an empty stomach, which like it's funny too, because like they find one of my favorite moments this whole chapter is when they find the initial evidence of the hobbits
Little
are
crumbs.
alive. Yeah. And it's like, oh, look, the hobbits are alive. We know because they ate dinner in the middle of a battlefield.
I love that.
And it's like they had a little treat. They stopped and had a snack.
I love it. Is it treat time?
You know, I think it could be.
Ooh.
Is it time for snacks for us too?
I think so.
Food for thought.
I'm done thinking.
Perfect. Let's drown your sorrows.
Sorrows.
In honor of our White Rider returning, we are having White Russians.
These are so good.
Not to say that we think Gandalf is Russian. This drink was actually created in Belgium.
Wait, really?
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep. And to represent Gandalf the Grey turning into Gandalf the White Russian rider, we have used Grey Goose vodka.
Hey,
There you go.
Nice.
I like that.
So yeah. Cheers.
This looks delicious.
All right.
Cheers to
Cheers,
Gandalf
everybody.
the White.
Cheers.
Oh, it's been many years since I've had one of these.
It's oh fuck.
Laura, strong.
Yeah. What did you do?
Jeez.
I think it's quite good.
This is just a regular White Russian.
Oh, I had
enjoy
a little
it.
more than you.
Okay.
I enjoy it. It's
not a
very it reminds me of like the 3 days before Christmas. That's the feeling. I
Kind of
get from it.
eggnoggy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or the Big Lebowski, right?
Yeah.
Stress.
There's a lot of that Big Lebowski feeling here.
Stress.
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 This is stress in a cup.
Yeah. Just like manic gift wrapping.
3 stresses, 1 cup.
Nope.
No?
Nope.
Well, I think they're quite good. Thank you, Laura.
This is delicious. Cheers.
What did you do over there?
He fake cheersed me.
I pump faked.
Oh,
Cheers. Cheers.
It was the rudest thing Chris has ever done to me in my entire life.
Cheers.
no more White Russians for you.
I promise. I'm not. Look, I will be Boromir. I'll be dead here. I'm gonna die in this moment.
I'll be Boromir. I'll be dead here. What? That's not the statement you think it is.
No.
Well, what a beautiful, delicious end to this chapter, to the White Rider with a White Russian.
Yo.
I'm going to continue to drink this. I hope you guys go make this. It's delicious. What were the ingredients?
Vodka, Kahlua, cream.
And then you
Despair.
just how much despair? Do you put tears into it, or
Yeah, I cried a lot in the other room just to make it really
do a little
authentic.
mixture, a little bit of ice. Make sure you put it in a plastic cup. Plastic makes all the difference.
Yeah.
But this was
Gotta get the microplastics.
yeah, the microplastics are great.
We need those PFAS.
I am actually interested in the macroplastics, though.
Well, you're holding one.
Yeah, the macros are good. They always say track your macros.
Is that why it's Russian? It's like Chernobyl. It's just slowly poisoning us.
or quickly.
Yeah.
I mean, if you ate the cup, yes, it would be quickly poisoning you.
This reminds me of that time in Chernobyl. Please don't.
Oh God, don't do that, Pat.
That's an amazing wrap on chapter 5 of The Two Towers. Hey, if you dug this episode, share it with somebody you know. And make sure you subscribe to us on both the YouTube or our TikTok or Instagram, or also just the audio podcast itself. There's a lot of you that are just watching the episode, but you're not subscribed to the audio. Go subscribe to the audio. I promise you, it's just as fun to listen to us as it is to watch us. I swear to Gandalf.
The gray or the white?
I'm not saying. I don't want to lock myself in. Both of them are untrustworthy at this moment. So we will see what's going on. And also, one of them's naked. So.
Briefly.
Was.
On a
Briefly.
mountain by himself until an eagle scraps him up from the...
Yeah, that's not any better.
You did not help.
It sounded better in my head.
Let's get together next week for chapter 6, which is called
The King of the Golden Hall.
The King of the Golden Hall.
Oh yeah.
That sounds fancy.
I wonder if that's a Ereditors or whatever that town was.
Oh,
Rohan?
Ereditors.
Oh.
Ereditors.
I don't remember the name either.
Adoras.
Adoras.
Adoras, I hardly knew her.
Just think Adoras. Adoras, Adoras.
I've been waiting for that for 4 hours.
That was good.
Thanks for listening, guys. We'll see you next
No more White Russians for you.
No. This is not Chris's cocktail.